All right. Yes. Good evening, everybody. So, officially, this is the first time of hosting this, and thanks to MDTH for making it possible. So, I know everybody must be excited to be here, and is a happy part of being with or staying with MDTH. So, hopefully, today we're going to be learning a lot, and I believe everyone here is ready. So, the little thing I would like you all to do is please help us bring out a jotting book, a pen, because today is going to be a pleasant evening, and we'll have whole lot of things to learn. And with me here are many, just not to list. I believe that uh, we're going to be learning a lot from our guest. So hopefully, bring out your pen and paper to jot. So first of all, I would like to introduce MDTH. I know most of you have been hearing MDTH without knowing the meaning of MDTH. Yes, this is the D-Day to know what MDTH is all about. So officially, we'll have a handle on, we'll have a website to which you can look after now. We'll be sending it across to each and every one of you that will be able to make it to this live. But I'll be telling you what MDTH is all about. So MDTH is making a difference tech hub. Yes, we are individuals that are together, working together just to bring out the best in individuals by teaching, tutoring as a whole lot of people that we've taught on our cohort one, cohort two, and cohort three. So I believe in further times, as everybody's getting to know MDTH, you will learn more from us. So that's that for that. Our major goals, our major goals, you still look up for that. Our major goals is to make education accessible to individuals like you and me. And our mission is to equip individuals with skills and knowledge that they need to strive for everyday activity. You get, so majorly we teach you, educate you to keep your hands on tech on every niche while learning tech. So that's that. And our mighty founder is no other person than UC. I call her UC, but her name is Uchechi. And I know right now she must be watching us here, and a well pleasant greeting from her. She said I should extend her greetings to everybody. Hope everybody can hear me. For now, we have one viewer, and I believe with time will gradually increase. So
Well, hello, hello.
yeah, we're live. Yeah, welcome, Dr. Patrick. Yes, you are well acknowledged, sir. Welcome. So going further, this foundation has pulled up to, right from the start, we've pulled up to 200 and counting students, teaching them majorly. Yes, we can say story lover. If you have any question at all, you can actually write it down in the comment section. We'll pick it out after now. But quickly, I'm going to be going in directly to introduce the our guest. But before I do that, I was saying things about our foundation, so everybody will know what we're all about. So majorly, I said, well, I'm going to be dropping out a lookup for everybody, to which everybody will see out more what we are to do. So majorly, our mission in MDTH, we're so passionate about bringing the young ones. Yes, we're so passionate about bringing people that actually don't know anything about tech into tech. Not just that, we're so passionate, we're so passionate about bringing people that actually don't know anything about tech into tech. Not just that, we're so passionate, we're so passionate about bringing people that actually don't know anything about tech into tech. Not just that, we're so passionate, we're so passionate about bringing people that actually don't know anything about tech into tech. and making newbies to learn from scratch to professional level. At least we've started from the testimony we've gotten from our first cohort, second cohort, and the third cohort. Yes, I believe people are testifying that yes, we've been doing good things. But now, today is actually a great day of learning employment and career guidance. To me, I would like to learn a whole lot from Dr. Patrick and Frank Samuel. So I really acknowledge them. And you won't learn all these things without getting a job, without actually practicing what you've learned. So actually, we're here to learn that part because people that are here with us are greatly people that have had experience, great experience in this field. Do you understand me? So, majorly, I'm going to be starting with introducing uh, Frank Samuel. He's an expert in this field. I know if this is a physical event, I'll just say give it up, give it up, give it up for Frank Samuel. Yes, you should be clapping as I'm about to introduce him. But basically, I'm going to be telling you a little about him. Frank Samuel is a financial and investment professional, as well as a professional financial advisor and coach that is very passionate about prosperity of Africa and the prosperity of Africans. I know that's actually not what you should be just staying there watching me to welcome this great individual. I said if this is a physical event, I believe by now I should be I should be expecting a clapping ovation. But let me actually throw more light on who he is actually. So he's very experienced in investment and he's skilled in financial analysis. That's that. So he loved building value, connection, and expanding the knowledge base. Yes. So he has worked, yes, he has worked on multiple projects across fintech, health tech, mobility tech, introducing one of the African biggest infrastructural fund. He has I feel by just giving you guys this introduction, I think I'm actually killing the joy. I want you to actually meet this great individual. Yes. So he can just give us a little guidance on what he has because I believe everybody here know why we're here. So let's just go in straight to hear from Samuel before I will actually give him ask him questions on what he has and he will answer. But basically, from Samuel, I'd like to hear from you, sir. Welcome again.
Thank you so much. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yeah, clearly I can hear you. Welcome.
Okay, thank you so much, everybody. I know doing an introduction for me can really be difficult sometimes, but I'm just one small boy doing big stuff in my small environment, right? Um, and that's sort of how I like to introduce myself. So when you hear of the big data and everything, everybody, please, I'm just a young guy, 25 years old, just trying to see how I can transform the life of Africans and then transform the continent of Africa as a whole. Like he mentioned, the first line in my introduction is pretty much everything about me. I'm glad to be here. I'm really humbled to be in this session, and I'm looking forward to sharing as much value as I can during the course of this session. Thank you.
So if this is a physical event, as I normally say, I said you guys should be clapping by now. So yes, this is from Samuel, and I'm really excited to hear from him. Yes. So going further, I know from his voice and from everything you've heard, I know pretty well that everybody's really happy to hear from him, right? So wait till I drop up the question he will be answering, and you'll hear quality things he was going to give you out, and you have to learn from that. So we're going to our next speaker, and I believe that you guys should know you guys should also recognize the only person that made this whole thing to be possible, our founder, to which is Uchichi. And I know you guys, everybody here should actually, after now, I would like you to look up to know who she is and by the end of the meeting, I'll be saying more about her. That's it. So our next speaker is no other person than Dr. Patrick. But before Dr. Patrick comes, I would like you guys to actually know who this great individual is. You should be clapping by now, anywhere you are. See, don't mind me. I like giving respect to people and to who respect is meant to be accorded to. So Dr. Patrick is a renowned medical, sorry that I'm reading it wrongly, meditative leader, leadership expert with a strong presence in African leadership. No, 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 no. This man is so great that I don't have to introduce him, making mistake of whom he is. So I would like to go again. I believe wherever you are, you'll be saying go again, please, so you can hear whom this man is. So his real name is Dr. Patrick Uzoma. He's a meditative leadership expert. Yes. So with a strong presence in African leadership circle. Okay, he has shared his leadership principle as a key note speaker and a trainer in various African countries. So you should be happy that he's actually coming up here. So we are so privileged to have you, sir, and would like to hear your voice and a little introduction from you, sir. So over to you, sir, Dr. Patrick Uzoma. Hope you can hear me, sir. All right, if you're speaking, know that you're muted, sir. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loudly, sir. Welcome.
Oh, thank you again. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm always excited to share with brilliant mind, radiant mind. Um, my thoughts are usually not the common thought. So when we are going to X-ray today, I just wanted to have an open mind. I've gone through all the rank to where I am as a managing director, CEO, and running several organizations. So I hope I'm able to share a story or two that will help amplify and solidify your faith in yourself. Am I starting or I'm going to still have my time? This is just introduction.
Yeah, clearly this is introduction, sir. So,
Oh, fantastic! So thank you. I'm happy to be here. So I'm here then. Thank you so much.
all right, all right. So clearly
Uh,
we're going to be, yes, yes. Thank you very, very much, sir. So clearly we're going to be going straight on to Frank Samuel. Please, sir, I would like to hear from you what you've actually prepared for this event before we go over to the question time, because I have a little question that I've actually written down to ask you. So we would like to hear from you what you have for us today. So thank you. Over to you, Frank Samuel.
All right, thank you very much. When I got the invite, I was shown how many minutes I have, and so I just prepared something really little that I would want to share with you all. I know my session was on CV and sorry, just give me a moment.
All right, he told us to give him a minute. I feel he's trying to avoid environmental noise. So while we wait for him to come back, to which I know that he's not actually going to take a whole lot of time to come back, I'd like him to adjust his camera view. Okay, you're back. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Yes, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Yes, I can hear you. Okay.
Oh, okay. So I said I was going to prepare something very little, so that I don't take a lot of time, since the time I have in this session is, I know it was less than 20 minutes. So I'll just share my screen so that you can see the very little things I just prepared. And it's just based off my own personal experiences. I was told I'm speaking on CV and LinkedIn optimization, especially with a view to achieve career success, right? And so please let me know when you see my screen.
We've not seen it yet.
Please confirm you can see my screen now.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
Um, okay. Let me stop sharing and reshare again. Um, please confirm you can see my screen now.
Okay.
Can you see my
Yes.
screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Clearly.
All right. So, very briefly, I'll just sort of share my experience with uh, sort of leaving school and then, graduating, and even how my, career has spanned out, over the last 3 years, right? So when I started out, trying to apply for jobs. By the way, I work in finance now, but I didn't study anything finance. Um, just to put this out there, I didn't study anything finance, but I work in finance. I studied geology, by the way. So
Wow.
technically, I was supposed to be working in maybe an oil and gas company or a geological exploration company or something, right? Um, but yeah, I work in finance today, and it was busy. It was born out of um, my passion to help young Africans do better with their finances. So my pivoting into finance was not because I wanted to work in finance, it was because I felt that the people that I am sort of training, helping, teaching, coaching right now while in my undergraduate days, I just felt that it will get to a point where I will not have in-depth knowledge, unlike someone who is in the industry. And so that's why I decided to get into the industry. So basically, I'm getting into the industry to gather knowledge that I can share with people so I can impact more lives, right? So it was purely passion driven or purpose driven, if you like to put it that way. Um, and so yeah, and then designing my CV was really tough because I didn't have finance backgrounds, right? And so what I decided to do at the time was now go for trainings, take courses to sort of beef up my experience in that space. So that when I'm in interviews for finance roles, it's easy for me to say, "Oh, I've done this, I've done that. I've taken part in this fellowship, I've done this certification." So that sort of builds up my experience, right? And you will need all of that. I got it my after my second job, my second core finance job. When I was moving to the third one, I was basically pushed from LinkedIn, you know, and it was heavily because of how much my LinkedIn was pushing the kind of things that I was passionate about, right? And so that's why I'm sure this session, was, prepared just for me. All right, so let's go into the little things I just put together, so don't waste so much time. So when you're looking at, ensuring that you achieve career success and ensure that your CV speaks to your employer is the way you're supposed to speak to, one of the things that you must understand is that your whoever is seeking for an employee has an expectation. And so that's why you see things like years of experience, you see things like what the candidate must have. So you say, oh, the candidate must have 3 to 5 years of experience. The candidate must, have this sort of skill or that sort of expertise. The candidate must have done this, must have done that. They have an expectation. And so if your experience does not match with expectation, you will not get that job. Chances are you will not get it. A lot of times you see people applying for 10, 20, 30, 50 roles and getting rejections. It's very simple. Expectations must match with experience. It's like saying that opportunity must meet action so that success will happen, right? If you're constantly having opportunities and you're never matching it to action, there'll be no success. Same way when you are trying to apply for a job, right? Or prepare your CV or optimize your LinkedIn for a particular type of career. Your experience must match the expectation. It must match it. It must match it. And the second thing I noted here is that you need to increase your value, start increasing your value to employers by, number one, engaging in volunteering, interning at small companies who are doing something impressive in your industry, as well as pioneering initiatives you're passionate about. And I'm saying this based off of personal experience, like based off personal experience. So I'm going to share 2 stories, or rather 3, just highlighting each of these points and how they have sort of connected to my own career success. Number one, engaging in volunteering. So when I was getting my second job in finance, the reason I got that job was during my final interview with the managing partner of the company. She asked me, oh, just talk to me about your experiences, even organizing, financial literacy conferences and things like that. And running her through the entire process of how I gather volunteers together, putting together strategies to ensure that the program is a success, showing that this is not the first time that I had, been doing this kind of thing. I've been doing it for a while. It showed that, okay, this person understands how strategy works, and I need someone with such a mind within my team. Even though this person does not have so much experience, he can gather the expertise and the experience of creating strategies for small companies while working inside my own company, right? So there was that opportunity for me to come in, and so that's how I got that. Interning at small companies who are doing something impressive in your industry. My first finance job was for a fintech company called Prosper. And I worked at Prosper because I loved their product, not because that was my dream company. I loved the product that they were building. It was a small company, right? But I loved the product that they were building. And so when I applied to do graduate, trainee there, and during the final interview, when they asked me, okay, why do you actually want to be? I told them straight up that I love the product. I was using their product for my small business financial fitness clinic. So we're using it to create invoices, get payment from people who wanted to sponsor our programs. I used it to pay salaries of my team members at the time. So I saw that they were doing something very impressive, helping small businesses, access products that big financial institutions will not necessarily provide to them. And so that was the opportunity, right? But because I knew that was not my final destination, I needed to build the experience. So interning at a small business that I saw that they were doing something impressive in the industry I was passionate about, was a part, or sort of like a way of climbing the ladder, in the industry I wanted to get into, which is finance. And then, of course, like I said, all of these things will be built inside of your CV. So that's why engaging in volunteering, interning at small companies is one of the best ways to improve the chances for you getting the kind of role you want. Now, the next thing is pioneering initiatives that you're passionate about. Pioneering initiatives that you are passionate about. And this is where my own small business, or my small stuff that I do, financial fitness clinic, where it all comes in, right? For a lot of young people I find today are very passionate about different things, whether it's content, whether it's sports, whether it's fashion, whether it's entertainment, whether it's media. You find people passionate about these initiatives, passionate about IT, information technology, right? And you're passionate about this thing, but you just keep it at passion. Like, you don't take action. You don't find, okay, what small impact can I make today from where I am? And it limits your chances of, getting into that career that you want to get into. It limits you, because you wouldn't have that free time again as a young person as you have it now. Let me be very honest with you, you won't have it. So whether you're in secondary school, whether you're in campus, whether you just got out of school, whether you're serving, you have the opportunity now to pioneer initiatives that you are very passionate about. And so that's why it's important that you start. I have a friend who today is a manager for one of the fastest rising gospel artists in Southern Nigeria today. And one of the things that sort of built, his experience today to get into this space is that he was passionate about entertainment events, helping structure entertainment events within the South. So from Port Harcourt to Bayelsa to Delta to Edo, to Cross River. He was very passionate about helping brands who wanted to organize entertainment events, structure the events, set up systems that would enable them to achieve, run a very seamless experience, have a seamless experience. And so he started it, gathering young people together, people who he knew he could, call on today, and they will come up in different teams, whether it's in protocol, whether it's in security, whether it's ushering, whether it's in, venue management, putting together things like this to help brands who wanted to organize entertainment events within the South. It was something he was passionate about. By the way, he read urban and regional planning, like town planning was what he read in university. But he was passionate about the media and entertainment space. Okay, so I have 4 minutes. Let me jump into this. So I said I was going to give an acronym for value, right? Talking about areas that, things, sort of points that if you are looking to, whether it's, curate your LinkedIn to show, that you're ready for a particular industry, or to ensure to put yourself out there, or to, curate your CV so that you can achieve, have better, success with, applying for jobs. One of the things you must do is validate your past with numbers. If you say, oh, I did this, what was the percentage, right? Was there a percentage success with it? How many people were impacted? Validate it with numbers. Number two, avoid downplaying your experiences. Don't think any experience in your past is too small. As far as that aligns that industry you want to pursue a career in, don't downplay any experience. Share that story. Number three, leverage your network. If you're going to be a valuable person, you're going to have to build a really impressive network. So you must leverage it. So leverage your network. The fourth thing is utilize the ability to search. You see that thing on social media where you can search, whether it's Facebook, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Twitter or X, whether it's Instagram. Leverage the ability. Like, you must be able to know how to search. And I hope one of the questions during the Q&A would hit on this so that I can spend more time explaining this part, or utilizing the ability to search on social media. The last thing I'm going to mention is engage with content in industries or companies you want to get into. So don't be far away from your destination. That's the way I would like to put it. Don't be far away from your final destination. Don't be far away. Don't be far away from it. Yes, so these are things that I just wanted to mention. And I hope that during the Q&A session, which will happen much later this evening, have more time to sort of double down on these points I have mentioned. Thank you very much.
Whoa. So thank you very, 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 very much, Samuel. Normally, as I said, if this is a physical event, I would be saying, let's give it up for someone. So really appreciate for the knowledge. And if people are not jotting down things, yes, I actually have my pen and my paper here. I'm jotting down a whole lot of stuff here. So from what I learned, if I'm to repeat what he said it should be passion driven. You should avoid downplaying your experience. Yes, he told us story about him actually not actually going towards the route of the course he studied. So I hope you guys are picking up something. We don't have much time with us, so let's just go over straight to Dr. Patrick. Sir, please. You're welcome. What do you have for us, sir? Welcome. Are you here, sir? All right.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much for the invitation. Yeah, timing it also an essential thing. From passion to professional passion, navigating your career path successfully, the power of networking and personal branding for career growth. So thank you again, Frank. Don't know whether you're still here. Samuel, thank you so much for the brilliance and the personal experience and stories. They are usually very powerful. So I'll share experience about passion to profession and how that story transformed me completely. So I had a story by my late father, and my late father had told me how he worked in the bank, and for some strange reason did not complete because he was ill. So my curiosity what I call the stainless curiosity, because as a person, one of the things that you aim yourself is clarity and stainless curiosity, where you approach life without prejudices. So he told me about banking, and I just asked the question, what do they do? Um, he painted the story, how they save money, have evolved, they bring money from here, they pay money and all that. And from that day, I said, I am a banker. I've never been to bank. I have never known what to do. She asked me how they dress. And honestly, I started practicing banking. What I do was, when I come back from school, like a child, I'll do my assignment. I said, this, I'm going to work. This is imaginary work. So I created a small vault that I use a carton. I cut papers. I was able to have like a notebook. I record where people come, deposit money. And trust me, these were all in the imaginary mode. Every day everywhere I go, I acted like a banker, and I did arrange like a banker. I dressed like a banker. And trust me, well, when I finished school, I went to Lagos. I took a diary, and in that diary, I look at all the banks, and I said, since I'm the bank, I'm going to look for a house in the bank. And I wrote all the applications. It never worked. One day, a dispatch rider who worked for a certain bank came, and everybody was saying, what do you do? What do you want to do? And I just shared my story. That's how he gave me 2 banks that were not in there. And what happened? The bank eventually called me, and I worked in the bank. So you now see how your pure imagination with an pure intention and pure action can build your nature to give you access to your profession. I mean, it can cut across. I think people who say they are in IT because they want to make money or because they want to be famous. No. You lose the creativity. That's why people can make money, but they lose their life. But you see, when it becomes a nature to you. It becomes a history. It becomes a part. And I did well in the bank. Why? Because it is not passion. Because passion is energy. It is the being, like it's your nature. Like a tree that produces after its kind. So I tell young people, don't chase something, embody something. And that's how passion is just energy that transform your nature into possibilities. What it does, let me just summarize it. I have about maybe 6 points, and what will help you. Number 1, your personal identity. It's good when you hear that a good name is better than silver and gold. What it means that my name is my identity. So if I say I am a content writer, if I say I'm a doctor, I will function. That's where you're functioning your responsibility. Your responsibility now carries the energy with which you can transform the day-to-day life into your profession. So it can start from your kitchen. I mean, I'm a public speaker now, and because I was also a noise maker. And now I identify that I was a noise maker. How do I contain this noise maker? I realized that I love value system. And so how can I communicate this value system? I started communicating it by making my bed. As I make my bed, I'm talking to the pillows, several pillows. Now I have the audacity to create my pillows in different formats, meaning that they are navigators. So I'm finding myself and my identity into those pillow arrangement. Now, the more I consolidate it, the more I go into the work, to my work, and I can walk. I have perfected it, because you don't win a war in the war. You win a war before the war. That's what personal identity does. Of course, the second point will be gives you personal assignment. Every time you see identity, what it speaks is connected to responsibility. I learned that from Steve Jobs. One of the 6 points about Steve Jobs is he understood his responsibility. In fact, Steve Jobs also understand who he was, and that's why he was so stainless in his life. He was pure. So your personal identity will influence your personal assignment, which will create a vision. Vision is not externally driven. Vision must be driven by your identity that fund your responsibility, which eventually will give you a vision where you are driving. Now, that's where passion comes in. What we call passion is personal power drive. So you see, people say follow your passion. I say no, don't follow your passion, because passion is energy, personal drive, personal power drive. What you should focus is on your personal identity, focus on your assignment and your vision, which will now be in the fourth dimension of what we call personal power drive, what we call passion. Of course, which will accumulate into what we call your personal values. Personal values will bring you influences, what we call personal drivers. So what's your personal driver? Personal driver is, why should I go to work and loiter around? So if I go to work and I have not found fulfillment, whether my boss is there or not, I should be able to be valuable to myself. Because most people stay in organization and following passion, because sometimes you can lose passion, really. We all know that, but you cannot lose your nature. You can't lose your assignment. You can't lose your vision. So the more you are more valuable, like your value is your estimation, and every manifestation or every reward that you see is a function of your validation, your personal value, and that is your worth. And once you get into that personal law, it will now have personal laws. Most people don't have what they call personal laws, and that's why they can have passion, and that passion can really lead them into disaster. So I have personal identity, I have personal assignment, I have personal vision, personal power drive, and personal value, which accumulate into personal law. And that will take you to the last one, what we call the personal standard. What standard does, like Frank who said, is to be able to guide you on a day-to-day, whether you're on LinkedIn, whatever it is, you will see that you have a standard. And when you suffer in life or suffer in your career, go and check. There are no established standards. And now, when you have built this passion into profession, you see how I started from non-bank, imaginary banking, and I moved into banking because I have succeeded in the day-to-day without supervision. So it was easier for me to succeed in the profession. And have you now see, when you talk about personal branding is not the email, is not the LinkedIn or your Yahoo account, Gmail account. Yeah, those things are all that, they are good. But just what brings your true value is how you're able to communicate this brand in, out. What I mean in, out, whether you are home, whether you are on the street, whether on your professional job, it now becomes a nature, so you can communicate it. Of course, networking and branding is such a powerful thing. Like, you go for conferences, most people don't attend conferences. When you go to conferences, you will see that your nature will always speak for you. And you can't go too far without some level of identification that makes you unique, your rareness. And it's this rareness that speak, whether from your dressing, whether from your how you set your office, how you set everything around you. When people connect to that over there, it's very easy to give you an absolute confidence. That's what we call genuine confidence. And the moment your genuine confidence begin to speak, I don't know how many minutes do I have more? Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
How many minutes do I have more?
You have like about 10.
Oh, I still have. Okay, so okay, there's no need to rush then. Okay, 10 minutes. I'll get out of that. Thank you. So I share a story. So I went to check my bank manager one day, and when I got into her office, one thing I noticed she was doing, she was instantly arranging her office. I didn't know what she was doing. And now her colleague was there. He said, "Ah, Mama, what are you doing?" He said, "Oh, Mr. Order is here." Mr. Order. It didn't make sense to me. Mr. Excellent is here. So you see, your brand must be something that is genuine, authentic, that you wake up from your makeup in the morning, how you dress, how you communicate, how you write, how you dress your office, uniquely must represent you. And that is your buying in, including how you do your email, your letter, your writing. Sometimes my colleagues will send me, brought a letter, say, check that letter, does it represent you? He said, no, okay, but it's just letter. I say, no, your character signature, we'll call it the signature character, must always tally to your identity. That's why I come back to identity. Identity is your nature. Your nature brings you assignment. And the assignment need a vision that to express it. It's not expectation. It is a expression, because you're more concerned about expression. I mean, for instance, if you watch me today, I have had like about 3 occasions. You will see there's a cut across for my dressing, for my type of speech, to everything around there. That is what you uniquely connect with other people. Otherwise, there's no network. What is network? Ability to be, first of all, self-dependent. Now become now interdependent. Interdependent is the ability to know that you do not know it all. But where we miss it is that, yes, I do not know it all. Can I find my estimation and my worth based on my uniqueness and rareness, based on my identity? So I'm not just going empty, because there's what I call the law of balance of exchange. Balance of exchange, that I must be able to contribute within the orbit that I found myself. Whether you are just going as a volunteer, whether you're going as IT, whether you're going internship, whatever it is, you must always understand your identity. There's a value within your identity to which to express to other one. So usually what help me when I go there, I'm not focusing on people strength. I'm also focusing on my strength. I'm observing their strength to find out how can I interject myself, how can I infuse myself into their orbit. And that's what network does. So how do you do it? Knowing that it is what you are becoming is what you give out. It's not what you receive. But when you receive, it's like another person's impression on you. How can you impress on another person? This is the richness of network and your personal branding. And that's what really enhance your career growth. Career growth is not like, okay, I have seen my boss or somebody who facilitates me. No, you are the facilitator, like a deliberate creator of your growth. So what it means that you build confidence in your personal identity, your personal assignment. Because really, one of the things that has helped me move to where I am today is not what always to take, it is what to contribute that is unique, that you make an impression or expression on people that they can remember. I call it writing your name in the heart of men, not in marbles. Because marbles you can take it off, but in the heart, anywhere they are, that is what true networking means. What is it that you can do? They can carry you in your heart because of your identity, because of the kind of vision you bring, because of your assignment. It also, or because if it could be question that you ask. That guy that's always asking, he has a very open-minded to ask questions. You see, network is not about, oh, what is available here, oh, so that I can have access to people, hire people. No, it is about understanding your uniqueness, that your uniqueness is important, and branding it in such a way it becomes a value to be expressed at any forum that you are. It is that value consciousness that will help you to richly have the confidence to be able to exchange so that you can receive as well too. That is networking for me, and that is how you uniquely get your value system into a brand. I think I could stop here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, 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 very much. You've seriously enriched us very, very, very well. So I know everybody here is actually jotting down a whole lot, and people are actually getting things. So I'll quickly go over to the Q&A. If you are here actually viewing this and you have a question at all, you can still drop it down on the comment section. But we'll have limited time here to actually go up with everything. So, firstly, I would like to be throwing the first question to Samuel, Frank Samuel. Please, while you were actually trying to educate us, I wrote down a question to which I know the viewers here would like to actually ask you, which is how can I identify my career interest? That's one. And secondly, how can I create an effective resume? Because most people here want to create a resume. From what you actually wanted to pull up for us, you wrote something about CV. So the question is, the first one, how can I identify my career interest? And the second one is, how can I create an effective resume? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for that question. Um, your first question as regards how do you identify your career interests. I think for a lot of people, career interests change over the years, right? But starting out, your initial career success would be pulled off from what you're studying in the university. For a lot of people, that's how they identify what they want to do. For some people, for someone like me, how I identified that I actually initially wanted to do anything related to geology or petroleum engineering was a commercial on TV I saw while I was in primary three. Right. So right from primary three, I wanted to study petroleum engineering because I saw a commercial on TV about NNPC. And they showed how they're working in rig, they showed how their work is sort of like helping Nigeria to grow, helping Nigeria to make a lot of money. I was like, this is the kind of thing I want to do, right? So well, a lot of people, there are different ways that you can identify your career interest. It could be from attending a particular event and then something about that career, or maybe the career of somebody, a speaker that you listen to excites you and like, this is what I want to pursue, for the rest of my life, or this is what I want to pursue right now going forward, right? And then you see the opportunity that for you to grow and become a better version of yourself. Because I've seen a lot of people who want to, build careers, and this where they want to build a career in is going to their shut down who they are. So someone who is naturally an extroverted person going to work in an industry that makes you an introvert or keeps you behind the scene, it's not going to deliver the best version of you. It's not. If you like to be in front of screens, you like to be in front of people, you like to be, if that is who you are, and then you now say you want to go and work, maybe you like doing virtual assistant roles, or maybe you want to go and become an EA where you are behind the scene, it's not going to work for you, because at some point you might even want to even overshadow your boss, because you like to be in front of people, you like to be the one, having the attention, right? So it's important that you identify who you are, know, what sort of things work best for
All
you.
right,
Take
I
a look
think
at,
we'll stop hearing you, Samuel Frank.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can clearly hear you
Hello.
now.
Okay. All right. So I said that you need to clearly understand who you are, so you can identify what works best. And then there are a lot of ways, a lot of things that can excite you. So it could be from maybe volunteering experience. Maybe you went to a conference and then there was someone there who you loved what the person does, and you're like, I think this is something that I would like to do long term, and you pursue a career in it. Or it could even be from conversations with friends, right? And then you discover that, okay, this is something people do. For a lot of people got into content creation because they never thought of it as something that could actually, make them famous, make them a lot of money, and then also allow them to do impact. But when they saw that there was the opportunity for that to happen, a lot of people jumped into content creation. There are people that I know today who have gotten into fashion because they love to make people look beautiful, right? And they saw that there was an opportunity for them to do it as individuals without maybe registering like a big business, and running big up corporations with a lot of staff and things like that. And they got into it, right? So a lot of things can spark interest. To your second question around how you can better project yourself using your CV, I like to say this, that your CV is usually the first way your employer speaks to you, or you speak to your potential employer without you being there. It's the first form of communication. And so if it doesn't project you in the light with which they expect you to be, there's going to be a problem. It's like someone is looking for someone who works, maybe you're looking for someone who would take a role in oil and gas, maybe petroleum engineering or something. And then this person brings a CV, and what is in that CV is all around media and entertainment. It's already a no from the start. Like, it's already a blank no. It's already a rejection from the start, right? So you must project yourself in the way that your employer is expecting you to be when you eventually take on that role. So if they need someone who has organized events, you need to, if you've not been able to organize events before, then that kind of role is not for you. Or if you have been part of organizing events, then you can project that experience, right? Even if you were not the one that led the organization, for the fact that you were involved in something like that. If they need someone who has the ability to do sales and marketing, if at any point you did anything in campus around campus activation, whether it's for a brand, whatever brand it was, right, that's a marketing event, you can project it. But if you've never done anything like that, you've never sold a dime in your life, then it means that you want to lie to get that job, right? So, and then, like I also mentioned, in your CV, you have to, validate your past experience with numbers, with data. So, was there in your previous role, did you ensure that processes were optimized by a certain percentage? Put it there. Did you lead a team of how many people to do certain things? Put it there. For me, when I was, applying for roles with only my school degree and volunteering experience, one of the things that I was very, loud about was putting the numbers was putting the numbers that, numbers of people I led in organizing these events, and then the partnerships we got, and then the impact it's made, right? And even the amount with which we use to organize these events, because a lot of organizations, especially if you're applying to financial, they want to know, have you done things that have to do with money before, right? So I needed to put those numbers there. As I grew, I needed to ensure that my every experience was backed up with data. So I was measuring every single thing I was doing in all the jobs that I was working at. I was measuring every single thing, because you need that as you progress in your career, when you want to climb up the ladder. Yeah. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, clearly. You
Yeah,
guys have been feeding
Dominic,
us
can I
very, very,
just
very well. Most especially
can I
Sir
also
Patrick. I'm
contribute
about to
since
come
we're
to
still
you, but we have limited time here. So this meeting is actually scheduled for an hour, to which automatically, even if we're answering a question before it's 9 o'clock, the meeting ends automatically. But I have a serious question that I would like Sir Patrick to answer. But I don't know whether he will answer it with, will I say 2 minutes, if he
yeah,
can
I'll
help
try.
us. All right.
Mm.
So basically, we would like to know some tips for acting on a job interview, because I believe you experience. So let me ask the question again. What are some tips for acting on a job interview? So that over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. You can also get your career path by what you hate or what frustrates you. So if you hate something, um, go back into that. It can be an awakening that you have the solution. So when you begin to go deeper, you'll find out that it's something you can actually provide. But when you want to go for interview, please get prepared. Don't look at the interviewer. Look at yourself. Most people go to interview thinking that the decision maker will be the people that will facilitate your getting the job. No, focus on yourself. The intensity of your focus will give you the energetic blueprint to answer organically. If you look at the interview or the person interviewing you, you will lose your momentum. So it's important to believe that self-belief and self-confidence, and that it gives you clarity of mind to authentically to connect to your depths. But if you look outside, you are going to be confused and be intimidated. So the composure is not to look at the people, focus on your strength, and you will answer well. You will build confidence there, you have clarity and become calm. And once you can maintain that calm and poise, you will see that there's just an automatic confidence where you speak and convince the interviewer, the external people very well. So be yourself.
Thank you very, very much, sir. You fed us a whole lot. So for the last question I'm seeing here, I believe I'll answer you this question. Then in our next meeting, you guys will still see the update. So you asked, what are the strategies, sorry, that I need to apply to land my dream job? So
Um,
basically, no, I wanted to answer that. Basically, Frank Samuel have answered it all. He said it should be passion driven, and everything you do, even if it's for a free, you are actually picking up a volunteer work, run that with your viewers, make it public, and be intentional. So I believe that's the end of our today's meeting, and watch out for the next episode and the people who are actually going to invite more. So thank you all for attending this meeting, and God bless you all. So once again, we really appreciate, and we'll keep on giving you guys the best. So thank you all and good night. You can say good night, our host, please.
All right. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Hello,
much.
sir.
Good night, everybody,
Uh,
and have a
uh,
great
God bless
weekend.
you. God bless you. Yes, God bless you.